Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review on the Makeup by Mario foundation. I know this foundation has been hyped all over TikTok. I wanted to try it for myself and see if it can cover my acne prone skin, and two, how it looks on my texture, since it does have more of that skin-like finish and has mica in it. So will it emphasize my pores and texture? We're about to find out. So now I'm going to do the side with the sponge. I might need to take a little more. It's not bad. You can definitely tell that this is more full coverage compared to this. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm not seeing anything too glittery, which is nice. I know there is mica in this, but so far it looks really natural and I don't feel like I look too oily, so that's really nice. I love how it lays with the sponge and I think a brush too. So it definitely emphasizes texture quite a bit, like this. It definitely more emphasized right here, and down here. It definitely kind of reminds me of adding too much highlight. Yeah, this is like really textured. I mean, I see the dew. The dew is there. It almost reminds me of adding too much of like either the Charlotte Tilbury or this e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter, like too much all over the face. I didn't put any of this today. Today I did use the Hourglass Veil, the Vanish Veil. I don't know how I feel. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face with powder, but this is what we're looking like. I like the coverage. I don't think anything is peeking through too much. It's a good medium coverage. I actually like the finish, even though it's a little textured, so I'm interested to see how it lays so far. I don't hate it, but we'll see with powder. We'll see with powder. So I just set with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder, my favorite powder for my under eyes and everything, and I set my forehead, and just take a look. It looks so dry and it's just like caking onto the texture. The rest of it looks okay, but like this forehead is not the move. Maybe it's just the powder. I'm gonna test it with other powders that I have, but right now I'm running late and it looks like this is done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue the rest of my makeup. I did set with the L'Oreal Fresh Wear powder on the rest of my face and that looks pretty good. So we're just gonna have to, maybe this is just too dry for the texture since it doesn't dry down. I don't know. So it was after the game. I'm in my PJs. So sorry I didn't check in with y'all, but here's how it's looking so far. So overall, for how it held up throughout the day, I don't hate it. I think it held on to my makeup really well, like my blush, my bronzer. Like I got ready today at like 11 and it's like almost 8 o'clock. So I think it held up really well. However, maybe I'm hoping it's a powder issue, because using the Makeup Forever powder and the Jaclyn Hill brightening powder, which I use with every foundation, and I never usually have a problem. Some of them with the Makeup Forever powder, so maybe I just have to test out maybe like the Hourglass powder, but like, look at this. I just don't like how much this is emphasizing my texture. It looks dry, it looks super patchy by my nose. Oh my god, right here. So patchy, emphasizing pores and texture. This side isn't as bad, but you can still see it. My chin's not the greatest. My nose? Like, oh my god, like who is she? Like right here? Horrible. You can really see it right here. Not great. Yeah, so I feel like I just look like a textured beast. So I'm kind of upset about that. I do like how it looks on the rest of my skin to get my forehead. Look at that. Oh, right there, you can really see it. It looks horrible. I'm not liking how this situation is looking in my T-zone. So far, I'm really 50-50 on it. It might be a good mixer foundation. Like if I did like something more matte in the T-zone and then the rest on the other side of my face. Although, if I'm gonna spend this much money on a foundation, I don't want to have to try and work with it. I want to love it. I want it to just be seamless. Okay, we are back. It is day 2 of me trying the Makeup by Mario foundation. As y'all know, day 1 was so-so. I have moisturized my face very well. I was like, maybe it's a dry patch issue. Maybe it was just my texture here. I'm gonna try different today. I prepped with the One Size Secure the Blur Primer. So hopefully it can kind of even out and blur some of that texture, since the foundation kind of won't. Also, I'm trying out the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder for when I do my concealer in my T-zone area. Maybe
the Makeup Forever was too matte. Maybe this will be just the right kind of lightweightness. Maybe this will be the perfect powder. Maybe mixing it with like this Makeup Forever HG, like this would be like more of the T-zone and this like all over the face, but you won't know until we try it again. That's the texture, a little bit thicker. Try this side with the sponge. Now I'm gonna do this side with the brush, but also I couldn't really tell anything until I put on powder. So that's gonna be the ultimate test. I think I put on more here, but I actually like how it looks better with the sponge side. I feel like it's getting a little streaky up here. Already, I can already tell this is a sponge foundation all the way. It just looks so much better. Do not use a brush with this. It's just too dewy and malleable that it's gonna move and be streaky. Just don't do it, don't do it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of the concealer, and then the real test will be setting powder. So I'll be right back. Okay, so far this is me all powdered up. I used the combo, so in my T-zone and on my under eyes, I used the Hourglass Vanish Powder, translucent, and then I used the Patrick Ta face powder, this one right here, for the rest of my face, and I am shocked. I'm not sure if it's these powders that are making the difference or if it is the One Size Secure the Blur primer, but that texture, it's not here anymore. Night and day. Between yesterday and today, so much better. It's actually crazy. It could also be because I applied my whole face with a sponge and redid it, because I feel like definitely the brush made it weird. This could potentially be my bridal foundation. If y'all don't know, I am a 2023 bride. We are 9 months away from the wedding and I'm so excited. So I'm really trying to find a good complexion product for everything. And this might be my engagement pictures because I still feel like there's a glow even though I just set with powder. It looks so good. I have like no bronzer, blush, or anything else. And I feel like I really enjoy it. Okay, so this is me with all my makeup done. So definitely I like it much better. I feel like it's not emphasizing my texture as much as it was yesterday. You can definitely still see like here on my nose, that texture is more emphasized than I would usually have with other foundations. You can't see it as much, but still a little bit in here is where I kind of get texture. You can see it a little bit here, but not as bad as yesterday. So for sure the texture is not as bad as yesterday. I like how it looks a lot more, so hopefully once it kind of settles, it'll look a lot better. And it could also be the combination of the more matte concealer on my nose and the foundation. Like maybe it's just not playing well with matte products. Like maybe they all have to be a little bit more malleable and dewy. So definitely gonna play around with that. Also, I feel like I'm gonna continue just using it with a sponge. It feels like that's kind of the way to work with this foundation. And it could also be in my prep. I'm gonna continue using something else I added in that I didn't yesterday was this Merit Great Skin Serum. This is the Instant Glow Serum. I have been really liking this. I just got it. And this really adds a glow to your skin and makes it super hydrated. It's basically hyaluronic acid and like niacinamide, but I don't know what it is. It's like very simple ingredients, but it really does help. I feel like with the hydration of my skin, or at least keeping that hydration in there, like it's a great thing to layer on top. And then I also put on my Glow Recipe Banana Souffle Moisturizer. So maybe because I add a little bit more of a dewy moisturizer, my skin is just less dry today. It's just so crazy to say because I'm an oily girl and you would think this is for the dry skin girlies, but I think it might be for the oily skin girlies. I don't know. It could be in the prep. If you have a lot of texture, this may still not maybe the foundation for you. Even with my minimal texture, you can definitely hide it. There's ways around it, but like I said, my nose just doesn't look how I would like it to look. Blurred, like snatched. And I don't feel like that with this foundation just yet. It is now 4:17 and I'm gonna go on with the rest of my day and then I'll be checking in at the end of the night. At the end of the day, I just want to show you my face. It's pretty oily. I'm very oily. It's insane. I kind of look like a grease ball, but it's not that bad. Now I'm pretty greasy. I look like I've been sweating and I need to blot. Overall, it's not bad. I still see some texture here. Here is not doing great things for my texture, if I'm being honest. It's just in my T-zone. I mean, you can still see it a little bit here. I like how it looks a lot better than it did yesterday. So we'll see. So far, it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I don't think it's gonna break me out. That's nice, but we will see. Only time will tell. All right, guys, so it's time for me to wrap up my review on the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. And I have a lot of thoughts on this. So first of all, why I don't like it. This is not a great foundation for the acne prone textured girlies. I feel like it does emphasize it. It doesn't really have any blurring effects, although I'm not gonna fault it for that much because this doesn't claim at all to be blurring or have any blurring effects. It's just not what this does. So I don't blame it for that, but I do prefer my foundations and things to have that sort of blurring effect. I just like how that looks on my skin more. Coverage is okay. Like when I think you guys saw like all my super redness and pimples. Even today you can still see them peeking through. Now I didn't put any full coverage concealer on, so this is mostly the foundation. Medium coverage, but I would still like it to be a little bit more covered, but I understand why, also because it does have that kind of skin effect. It doesn't look like skin, but it has like that dew, more natural finish. I do like the finish of this, which is so weird because I'm an oily gal and I get very oily with this at the end of the day, but I still like the finish. I still love how it gives you that glow, like glowy skin, even under powder. It kind of just like seeps through and I feel like it looks good. Again, it doesn't look like skin, but it does look more natural than a full coverage foundation. So I think it's like a really good everyday glam foundation and I do like it. I don't hate it. It literally reminds me if you mix like the Charlotte Tilbury, the e.l.f. Halo Flawless Filter with a foundation. That's what it is. The only thing which contributes to the texture, obviously it's a foundation, so it's going all over your face, where if you use the e.l.f. or something like that, it's gonna be a lot more of a targeted highlight, a targeted glow. So I am basically gonna rate this foundation out of 10. I'm gonna give it 5.5. I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10, maybe a 6. We'll go with a 6, a little bit more than half, just because I don't think it's my favorite. It's not a holy grail foundation that I'm like, need to have it. I'm gonna reach for it every day. I'm gonna use her up because this was expensive. She was I think $46 for foundations that are on the pricier side. I want to love it. I want to be in love with it. I want to love it as much as I love my NARS Soft Matte Complete foundation, the Kosas foundation. I want to be obsessed with it. My L'Oreal foundation, Fresh Wear. I'm just not overly obsessed with her like I thought I was going to be. Saw all the hype on TikToks, but this is exactly why I wanted to test it out. The good news is I don't think it broke me out. I didn't see anything right after. This is kind of just due to that time of the month, unfortunately. That's a point for this for sure. I just think this is a foundation that I have to work with. I thought this was gonna be like a bridal foundation candidate, and it is not, especially because throughout the day it just like gets oily. It's just not. I want something more blurry on my wedding day, so this won't be it. But I do think it is a nice everyday foundation. Like, I feel like you can even see, I don't know if you can, maybe like through the glass, like the mica in it, the shimmers. And it's not overly shimmery on the face, I will say that. It doesn't look like there's glitter on the face, but it does have that texture emphasizing property to it. We'll see how it wears tonight with this new NARS setting powder. I think these together I'm gonna be obsessed with and love, because right now I'm really liking how my skin looks, like the finish of it. Like if I had full coverage, the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, I'm just a Soft Matte Complete stan. If you're new here, I'm obsessed. NARS complexion is everything to me. Yeah, so I think these are gonna be a winner. I don't think it's a need. You may like it if you have more normal skin or combo skin. This does also cling onto dry patches a little bit and can look a little patchy. Dry patches and texture, beware. Looking for blurring, this is not your girl. If you're looking for dew and a really glowy finish, this is her. I'm not obsessed with it, but I don't hate her.
At the end of the night, it actually looks really good. The makeup by Mario, I feel like I'm not as oily. I did put my makeup on pretty late today though, so that could be a factor, but overall, I think the NARS powder with this foundation is definitely the way to go for me. I love it so much better, and it is, yeah, I think this is the way to go. That is my quick check-in, but it's holding up well.
If you guys are interested in any more of my foundation reviews, you can go ahead and click over here, or if you want some more skincare content, wedding content, you can go ahead and click over here, and I will see you in the next video depending on what you choose. Also, make sure to subscribe down below, leave a comment of any other foundations, products you want to see me review, and I will see you in one of these videos.